Welcome back to our next episode of Watson Drops. I'm Kirby Dolak of LCTV, and we're back again with Dave Ketchen, Assistant General Manager of the Littleton Electric Light and Water Department, to discuss updates on the Littleton water projects that are underway. Today, we're going to review the needs assessment, the proposed sewer expansion, and the next Watson Drops mailer that will discuss some funding options for sewering. Good afternoon, Dave. Welcome back to Watson Drops.
Thanks, Kirby. Glad to be back.
Hey, your team's been really busy. Sorry just to walk on top of you. What have you guys been doing lately?
Yeah, we have been really busy here. We've been up to a lot. I'd like to keep today focused on sewer, but for all residents that have questions, I'd point them to our website for the most up-to-date project information. And if anyone has any questions, they can reach out and call us, email us about any of the ongoing projects.
Great. So it seems like an eternity ago, I guess it was last town meeting, that we talked anything about sewer and the needs assessment. But I do remember that there were many options that could be explored. Dave, can you please refresh our viewers about the needs assessment and the options your team and Superintendent Godfrey have been visiting, flushing out? And where can residents find the assessment documents on your LELWD website for their review?
Yeah, we did. We completed the needs assessment. So for those that don't really remember, we conducted a needs assessment to sort of gauge the sewer needs of the entire town of Littleton so that we could move forward with a plan that had been fully vetted and with options that, we've explored down every single path. So we took a look at the town holistically. We identified areas that were both environmentally and economically in need. And we looked at multiple different sewering technologies, different plant locations, different financial repayment methods. All of that information was then analyzed by our sewer working group, the Board of Water Commissioners, and the Select Board to sort of figure out how to best move forward. So the entire needs assessment is located on our website at LELWD.com, and our staff and I are more than happy to answer any questions regarding the report that anyone may have. But there is a lot there, and it is difficult to read through. So if anyone has any questions or anything like that, please reach out to us.
Dave, that's a great overview. So what is the actual status of the existing municipal sewer system then?
Yeah, thanks for asking that too, Kirby. So the existing municipal treatment facility, for those that don't know, is located at the high school and is quickly approaching the end of its life. So with that, plus the information that we gained from the needs assessment, the Board of Commissioners deliberated the appropriate way to approach this. And rather than spending a lot of money to upgrade the existing plant and install this new plant to meet the goals of the town, the commissioners wanted to move forward and thought it'd be best to include the flow from the existing plant and build an all-encompassing plant moving forward.
So Dave, how about reviewing the primary goal or goals of developing a sewering plan for Littleton? I also understand that the LELWD Board of Commissioners have identified a plan that tries to meet those primary goals, while, as you described, also enabling future expansion of the sewering services.
Yeah, so the initial goal of the sewer plant was to bring sewer to the Littleton Common area, to revitalize the common area. So with that in mind, and considering the need for sewer with the financial impact on the property owners, the Board of Commissioners, along with the Select Board, identified a plan that meets the primary goal of sewering the Littleton Common, while also allowing for future expansion and replacing that existing plant at the high school. Replacing the existing plant with a newer plant not located at the high school seemed to be the most logical decision, because we didn't really consider the high school a great location for a treatment facility. There's just different operation hurdles that you have to jump over, and having that at a high school isn't something that everyone necessarily wants. So everyone took that into consideration, along with something that would be central to the discharge site and the common. And I think we settled on moving forward with a plan that meets all three goals that we set out to achieve.
Dave, in that last April Watson Drops, there was a great graphic at the bottom of the first page that described the basics of the sewer system. The properties and pipes, the treatment plant, and the effluent recharge site. Right now, that treatment plant and the effluent recharge site are at the high school. And as you just described, at the last town meeting, you got the authorization to increase that from 20,000 gallons per day to 175,000 gallons per day. So tell us the benefits or about a project to have a different treatment plant at a different location, how maybe the pipes and properties change around, and how does that affect at all the effluent recharge site?
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned last time meetings discharge site. We did get authorized to construct a new larger capacity discharge site underneath the athletic fields there. So with that, we were able to look at different scenarios that we could bring sewer to the common. So with that, we needed to find a centralized location between the high school and the common that we could put a treatment facility. And we've settled on the 242 King Street location for that treatment plant. So from there, the sewer system would be built out into the common area to what we're calling the Phase 1A spine area, which is a reference from the needs assessment. But essentially, we were trying to hit as many businesses as we could along King Street and Great Road and start the system there, trying to keep costs down initially, and while trying to have the largest customer base of commercial customers. So essentially, the commercial customers would connect to the system. That sewage would be pushed to the treatment facility. The treatment facility would then push the treated water to the high school, where it would be recharged into the aquifer there.
Yeah, I never realized that in the current plan, off the back of Town Hall, you're sending the effluent there and across to Russell Street, or could be sending it off in that direction, I should say. And it makes perfect sense that 242 is just really adjacent there. So I think it really helps with regards to, you're not pushing as much of the sewer up to the high school, but you're actually treating it and then sending it up to the recharge site. So that's great.
Yeah, that's a good point. And there was a couple things that we really liked about that site. The fact that it bordered 495. So we can kind of push it up against 495 and hide it as best we can. The actual parcel is pretty large, so we can sit it, we think, far enough back where you're not going to be able to see it from King Street. But those plans right now, this is a good segue. We're currently actually designing the system that I just described. CDM Smith is designing that system for us. Once we have a better grasp on the actual design, we'll be able to firm up a lot more of the details. And in moving forward in future Watson Drops episodes, we can really get into the nitty gritty details of, how the actual system is going to operate, where are the pumping stations going to be located, the specifics that people want to know. And at that point, we can really get a better handle on the financial aspect of this project, because at this point, we have some pretty reliable numbers from CDM Smith, but there's a ton of contingency built into them just because of the unknown, because nothing's designed yet. We're doing the best we can with what we have right now, moving forward from there.
Dave, those are really ambitious plans and they sound pretty good, but they really focus on what has been defined as the town's future success. I also know that it's all work in progress and that any information or financial details about the options are really tentative at this point. So how is LELWD providing residents with sort of an easy to understand set of details on funding these options? Are there plans? I think you did say that there was going to be some follow-up on Watson Drops, which is good to hear. But what about public forums for residents to ask some of those questions?
Yeah, that's a great question. So like I said, we do have some answers to those tough financial questions right now, but nothing firm because the design's not complete. However, we did just send out our latest Watson Drops mailer, sort of describing the system that we just talked about today. We look to do a further mailer sometime, hopefully soon, that really describes the financial aspects and the cost recovery portion of this in a way that residents will understand it, and then maybe setting a baseline for the numbers moving forward and what people can expect. So with that being said, yes, we'll be doing mailers. We'll definitely be doing future public forums before we go to town meeting to ask for any construction funding, obviously, for this. And I'm sure you and I will talk again on Watson Drops moving forward on that too.
Dave, thanks for being with us today and reviewing the needs assessment study and the proposed sewer expansion plans. And the next Watson Drops mailer, as well as the next episode here, that's going to really focus in on the funding options for sewering. Thank you for your time. Look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, thanks, Kirby.